Everyone, this is Laura Overstreet, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to talk with you just for a moment about open educational resources. I wanted to, I've been teaching for about almost 30 years, and I wanted to kind of convey the evolution of open sources. I think this goes far beyond simply trying to save money on textbooks and things of that nature. But I think if you'll think back, if you've been teaching for a while, you probably remember the introduction of the internet mid-90s and the growth of the ability for students to access information. And maybe you have been in the embarrassing situation, I know that I have more than once, of students knowing a lot more than was conveyed in the textbook that we were using. And this wasn't simply from television, but it was a product of their increased ability to go on to sources that were credible sources on the internet, even to institutional entities with research and so on and so forth. So I think that the development of open educational resources is simply a natural evolution. I don't see any way that this could not have happened. So what I've got open for you right now is MIT's open courseware, and you might have been familiar with that. I know some of you who are in this gathering probably participated in Washington State's open course library, as I did. And we learned a little bit about some of the open courseware that was available first with MIT and other institutions. So, resources are out there, and I think this is a really good thing. I would love to see us moving past the notion that open educational resources are simply dummied down textbooks that are inexpensive, because I think if we look at K through 12, there's been a long tradition of faculty writing their lessons, making those available. Not that they are independent thoughts necessarily, but they are putting materials together and using resources, to pull together stimulating lessons for the students. Now, I teach human development, one of the courses, and I find that I can access more relevant, certainly more timely information directly from these institutions that are conducting research, such as the National Institute on Aging. I think another thing that I consider with open educational resources is the accessibility, and I'm very, very much in favor of getting away from for-profit models and publishers that have very often a textbook that is outdated once it's available, and of course the extraordinary cost. So I really think that ideas are not a marketable commodity, and I love the idea of having students be able to access the information that the internet makes available to us. And I think that we are in a position of it's necessary for us to change our teaching methods and resources and to become better consumers of that content, and certainly to not be in the way of students accessing it. So I really don't see myself as the keeper of the knowledge anymore. I am much more a facilitator of information, and I think this is really, it gets us to our ultimate goal, and that is of helping students to be resourceful, to be critical thinkers, and to move expeditiously into the marketplace. One last idea is I'm very happy that open sources such as Creative Commons images and content are made available, and they're actually making their way into learning management systems. This is Canvas. We're starting to move toward that. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that. But one of the wonderful things about Canvas is that now I can go and try to find an image, and I don't have to sort through all of the rigmarole of finding the kinds of images that are Creative Commons that I can use without impinging on any copyright violation, but I can just simply link directly to Flickr Creative Commons images and build a a course that's stimulating, and I don't have to spend all that time. I know that working in that first round of the open course library for the state that was an arduous task, trying to get past all of the copyright, especially with images. And so I think nothing but good things about the use of open educational resources. I challenge you to think beyond this being simply a matter of a cheap textbook, because, this is a whole new world, and it's a better world for educators as far as I'm concerned. So I'd love to have the opportunity to talk more with you. Bob knows how to reach me. We're good buds. So anyway,